There's a really good vibe here today. Courage is a really good point because it takes courage to speak up. And people have been speaking up for a very long time. And Jeff Thomas, I'd like to point you out for sure. Because we have people just like Jeff Thomas that are in the country and they don't know what to do. And we've got a plumber from Sydney that decided he wanted to stand up for his son's rights. And that's what we're asking you guys to do. We're asking you to ask your family, stand up for my rights. Ask your brothers, ask your sisters, stand up for my rights. It wasn't a popular thing back then, but I can tell you what, it's popular now. I'd like to introduce our next speakers. And it's an interesting thing because Christine Forster, she didn't have to say anything. She could have just gotten on with her life. But she actually stood up for our rights. She found a voice and she decided to talk about marriage equality. And of course, it's not a particularly comfortable thing for her to do, but she did it. And that's an amazing thing. And what she's also done is she's added hope. Because what Christine's done is she said she thinks marriage equality can be achieved by Christmas. Now, what a great Christmas present that'd be. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Christine Forster and her absolutely beautiful partner, Virginia.
Thanks, Ivan. And this is my beautiful fiancée, Virginia. And I actually never quite knew the meaning or understood the meaning of why, if people would ask Virginia, well, Virginia, what's your heritage? She would immediately say, I'm Irish. And that's despite the fact that she's a fifth-generation Australian. But I think after last week, we really know now why it's great to be proud to be Irish. Every man and woman over there in the Emerald Isle has done something to make themselves proud of, something that I as an Australian am proud of. They have shown us and they have shown the whole world something very special, and that is what is essentially, or has been essentially, a very conservative, religious society can embrace marriage equality with joy and optimism, and without fear and without prejudice. It's also wonderful to stand here as a member of the LGBTI community in the certainty that we are now really on the cusp of achieving something that's been coming for so many years. Somebody wants to say something to me over there? Obviously, look, I'm just as impatient as you are for this to happen. I mean, look at Virginia. You know, why wouldn't I want to marry this beautiful woman as soon as I possibly could? I might cry. But I'm going to be honest with you now. I don't think the bill will pass next week. And I don't think it will go to a vote. And that is, in all honesty, despite and acknowledging my impatience, your impatience. And I think at the end of the day, that will probably be a good thing. Because to be honest, if it went to a conscience vote next week, the result might be so perilously close to failing that it is not worth taking that risk. Unfortunately, there are still an awful lot of people we need to bring along in this journey with us. On the Liberal side, certainly, and everybody knows that. There are also some on the Labor side. But what we want to bring them along with is to bring them to a point where we can have a resounding yes, an Irish result from the people in the Parliament who we elected to represent us. And I mean us, that's Liberal, Labor, Green, Independent, we've put our political differences aside to stand together to fight for this cause. And I'm afraid, and I'm also amazed and hopeful, because that's what it will take in Parliament. A really good piece of bipartisan legislation that can come to the Parliament with the support of every party that everybody has contributed to and can be considered and voted by our Parliament that has been given the freedom to make a conscious vote. Given the opportunity to vote with its conscience. That's what we want every single member of our Parliament in Canberra to have, the opportunity to vote with their conscience. That would be a result, a bipartisan approach that would allow all of us to stand together and to own this result for ourselves, for our community and for our country. I know some of you might doubt it, but I am absolutely certain that my own party, the Liberal Party, is moving strongly and steadily towards exactly this result. I'm confident that it will happen before the end of the year. Absolutely confident that we are moving to that. And the more Liberals we have on board, the better the result will be. So the Irish have shown us that people can stand together and own this, do it without fear and prejudice, do it with joy, do it with hope, do it with optimism for a national future that is better than the past. I think that our politicians, every one of them, of every colour, blue, red, green, have heard that message loud and clear. But just in case they haven't, you lot all get out there and tell them. Let's get on with it. And now I'm going to hand you over to Virginia.
For those who know me, uncharacteristically, I'm going to let good sense prevail today. And good sense tells me that there should only be one politician in every family. So my speech is going to be very short but sweet. I want to say that I'm proud. I'm proud of my Irish heritage. I'm proud of my beautiful fiancé. I'm very proud of this community. We haven't given up, we've kept the struggle, and we've pushed it to the boundaries where there's no turning back now. I'm getting the weight loss program ready for the big brides turn up. So it's going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. So thank you all so much, and please keep the challenge up there and write to your politicians and let everybody know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christine and Virginia. And can we keep the applause coming for Christine and Virginia? The flag that we're standing under is actually as a result of a motion that Councillor Foster brought to the City of Sydney Council. So a big round of applause and a thank you to Councillor Foster for that. And indeed, to all those people in the Liberal Party, many people who are here today, like John Harwin, Shane Mallard, and then also people like Bruce Notley-Smith and others who work so hard within their party to progress reform. No party can deliver things like marriage equality themselves, and it's people like the ones I just mentioned that are really a key part towards making this happen.